Hello and good morning. It is a very good morning because it's not raining. And I don't think it rained last night. There might have been a little bit of a sprinkle, but that was it. So it was a good night. This is a part 2, which means if you watch the video prior to this, you'll see that I camped in here last night and building my cabin up here in Colorado. And I do camp on my land, and today I decided to, or last night, I decided to camp in my cabin, which doesn't have a roof. So it was just like camping outside. It was very comfortable. I was very comfortable in it. I was, if you guys remember the prior video, or if you haven't watched it, I do get a little scared of the dark sometimes, especially when it's like pitch black and there was an overcast when I went to bed. And so it was so dark, you really could not see the hand in front of your face. No matter how much I tried to get my eyes to adjust to it, could not see the hand in front of my face. So it was really dark. So I had some night lights out, which are my Lucy lights, which I think I have somewhere in the background over here. They're charging because they went dead. So that one that I had sitting out here last night that you guys saw, that went dead within like 20 minutes of turning off my camera. And I was like, ooh, it's dark. But I didn't want to like turn on all my lights all night long. And then other ones were dying through the night, and that was fine. I ended up falling asleep and I was fine. I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because my body was feeling uncomfortable. And I don't know if it's because of the sleeping pad. I can't figure it out. Because my back was hurting the last time I was out here sleeping on that sleeping pad too. But I don't know. I don't think anything's wrong with the sleeping pad. There might be something wrong with my body. My body might be getting older, a little more out of shape this year. So I think the more in shape I get, the better it will be for me. At least that's my theory. That's my theory. So I'm having some breakfast, sitting in my cabin. And you know, it's really nice to be able to see the lighting and how the light hits this area. I kind of give an idea of what it's going to be like, you know, even when walls up and stuff, you know, and a roof on. I won't get like I thought I was going to get like direct sunlight into this area in the morning. So I thought when I woke up, this area that's right behind me would be really bright, because where I'm sitting right now is just a big window wall that looks into my forest. So I think that this is gonna be pretty nice and shaded in the morning too, which is okay. It's okay too. You know, sometimes you don't want that like sun right in the morning. You know, so I'm learning new things. Like, where's the sun gonna come in? Like, I got a lot more sun towards my kitchen area over here. Not as much sun towards my bay window area. You know, you just never know. You can never really judge it until like things go up. I'm gonna look later to see how my bay window gets light and sun coming in. I am kind of curious about that. That should offer a lot of warmth to the cabin. That's why I put that bay window on the south side. And it's a little bit more private there too, because it looks right into like a hillside, and it's really pretty. Yeah, I really enjoyed spending the night in the cabin, and you know, as I'm laying down there, I'm looking up and I'm seeing things, and I got more questions for the builder. Poor builder. But I got a little bit more questions, like how am I going to get insulation in there, and because there's this one little pocket that's really, really thin, and I didn't know how I'm going to be able to insulate that wall or that section of the wall. I don't know, just some things that I've just noticed just by staying the night in the cabin. I think it was a really good decision to do that. I don't think that I'm going to do it all the time, because I do like being on the ground too, and kind of in the trees a little bit. And so I think I'll just kind of change it up if I'm staying here, you know, and if there's no workers here, because I think a lot of times there will be workers here while I'm here, and I won't be staying in the cabin during that time. In fact, I'll probably be as far away from the cabin as I can for my own privacy. It is so peaceful here. It is so peaceful. Like, I just been sitting here trying to, just find my inner yellow. And I love being with the trees and the birds and the dirt and all of that. And it's home. Do you hear these birds? Do you hear them? It's really cool. Now I hear a plane, but that seems to be an ongoing thing here. I'm gonna go for a hike. Been trying to exercise again. I've been running 5 miles a week. I know that's not a lot, but like, trust me, I'm like dying on those 5 miles. And I'm only doing like 2.5 at a time, but I'll get there. I know me, I'll get there. It's a struggle, and you just gotta push yourself. You really do. You just gotta push yourself to be better, to be healthier. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna go for a little hike around here. I thought about running here, but it's actually not too safe to run in an area where there's mountain lions. It's not like I'm going to be faster than a mountain lion, and mountain lion might look at me and be like, "Ooh, that looks like a fun chase." She looks sick. Something's wrong with her. Let me eliminate her. I'm only joking, you guys. I'm only joking. I'm getting my hiking shoes on, taking off my Tevas. I'm probably just gonna, I say hiking, but it's really walking on the road here, but it's like a hike because you're going up hills and down hills, and yeah, it's a bit of a workout. Should be a lot of fun. Now, I don't really film any of that, even though it's like so beautiful right now, you guys. Like, it's so beautiful, but for my own privacy, I don't film at all outside my property. Other people's privacy too. I mean, if I see a deer or something, maybe I'll shoot it for you, but other than that, I don't really film that. But just picture me hiking with huge mountain views, covered in snow, aspens starting to bud. Oh, it's so cool. Now it feels like spring. It does. It feels like spring. Even though I still have a lot of snow here at Spirit Forest. In some areas it's like 2 feet deep. You see all those piles of snow? Yeah, there's a lot of snow. There's a lot of snow here still. Okay, I'm gonna get walking. Okay, that was an awesome walk. That was. But it's like in this halfway between cold and warm. There's a rain cloud above me. It's gonna drop rain somewhere. I don't know if it's gonna drop it here or not. But I told you I would tell you a story of Kyla. Kyla is my 13-year-old. Yesterday, in part 1, I told you a story of Madison. And kind of, I don't know, just being a mom, being a single mom, and tackling these challenges of raising teenagers. And so it's time to talk about Kyla. So Kyla's different. Kyla's very different than Madison, and I want to tell you a story because, well, that's what I do on this channel. I tell stories, but it gets you to understand kind of who she is. Madison, I would say, is very competitive with me, where Kyla is not very competitive with me. And so it's easy for me to teach Madison things because I would say, well, I can do it. And then Madison's like, well, then I can do it too, you know, where Kyla's like, no, you're mom, you do it, you know, and she's always like, Mom, I'm so little, I can't do that. Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but now Kyla is as tall as me. And there's been a couple times where I've been like, Kyla, I can't reach that. Can you reach that? She grew like a foot in a year. It's just crazy. So, my little Kyla. It was back in 2000 and, I don't know, somewhere around 2013, something like that. So she was younger. She was a lot younger. But she's always very timid about things. And it was Mother's Day, and I wanted to take her somewhere kind of fun and, you know, just do something fun with the girls. And I took them to an indoor pool that had this really big water slide. It also had this rope swing on it. And I was like, I'm going to take them there. They're going to have a blast. I get there. I see how big this water slide is. I was not expecting it to be that big. It is, I don't know, 4 stories high or something like that. I don't know exactly. It was really, really high. And I look over at Madison, or Kyla, and she looked back and she's like, I'm not doing that. And I said, well, that's why we're here. You know, I paid to get in here to ride these water slides. No, I didn't realize it was going to be that big. And she says, I'm not going to do that, Mom. And I said, okay, how about this? I will go with you to the top. And I didn't think, they didn't end up letting you go down together. We had to go down separately. I said, I will go down, and then you go down, and I'll be in that little pool thing, you know, as she comes shooting out of the water slide. I said, I will be right there. And she's like, Mom, I can't do it. Well, I grabbed her hand. Not that she was screaming or anything like that or crying or anything. But I grabbed her hand and I said, you could do this, you know. And that's kind of how I have to be with Kyla. Just be like, I got to like pump her up for a good 45 minutes, you know. And I got to the point where I was like, we're doing this, you know. And I grab her hand and we're going up the stairs to the top, which of course, like every step, she's like, oh my gosh, you know, and we're way up there. And it's one of those water slides that kind of does this kind of a loopy thing, you know what I mean? And every once in a while you get a little dip like that. So I go down, and it was pretty fast. It was pretty fast. But hold on, I forgot. I told her, I said, if you feel that, like, you know when you're on a roller coaster and you get that like drop feeling in your stomach and you're like you're falling feeling, I told her, if you get that feeling, you just scream. I said, you scream at the top of your lungs. I said, you just scream. And if you scream, you won't get that feeling anymore. And she was like, And so I go down, and I was like, ooh, that was kind of fast, you know. And so I shoot out, and then I'm waiting, you know, and I hear her screaming. Like, it is literally echoing around the entire, because it's an indoor place, it's echoing around the entire pool area or rec center. And I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, you can tell when she's taking a breath, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, you know. And she came shooting out of that water slide like a bullet out of a gun. She comes shooting out of that, and I was right there. And you know, you dip in the water and you come back out, and her face was like this. And I'm like, oh shoot, you know. I'm like, wasn't that fun? She's like, I don't think that was fun. I was like, one more time. And I could just tell, just a little part of her was like, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. And so she went and did it again, screamed the whole way down, you know. And it was hilarious. So eventually, I just let her go on her own, and she was starting to go up and down the stairs by herself and going down the slide. And I was doing there's this rope swing thing that you can grab a rope and you can like swing into the pool, and it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And so I was doing that, but every once in a while I'd hear this of Kyla screaming, you know, going down the pool slide. And then she comes over, because she's been down that pool slide I don't know how many times, and she comes over to this rope thing, and I said, oh, you gotta try the rope thing. Oh, Mom, I'm not gonna do that. No way am I gonna do that. I was like, dude, there's no difference between that and the slide. I was like, you hang on and then you let go. and you fly in the air and you drop into the water, you know? And it wasn't even that far from the water either. So she's like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, just try it once. I said, look what happened with the, I feel a storm coming. I was like, look what happened with the slide. Now try it with the, I was like, only one time, Mom. And I'm like, okay. She grabbed it, she swung, she let go. She thought that was the coolest thing in the world, you know? But it always takes me time to talk her into doing these kind of things. It's getting cold. It's getting cold again. It's all about layers, all about layers. And it's getting a little windy too. Woo. So, with Kyla, she has fun when she's doing it, but to get her to do it has always been a struggle with me. It's always been a struggle. And, you know, it's not that I want to force my kids to get into the wilderness and go camping and backpacking and all this kind of, and live outdoors, you know. It's not that. It's not that. That's not what I'm not trying to force them to do it. I want them to do it. I want them to feel the happiness they get from it. Like, I've seen it with Madison. Like, Madison gets really happy after backpacking. She really does. Like, she's like, Mom, we should look at this other map in this other area and hike this area. So I like to push them just a little bit, give them different kinds of challenges and stuff. And with Kyla, it's interesting how she solves problems and challenges. You know, my goal is to give her the tools in which she can solve the challenge, but let her solve that challenge. I brought you a little closer because it's getting pretty windy and, you know, the storm's coming here soon. I feel it, you know, and you just feel it. But back to Kyla's stuff, you know, she's a little bit different when it comes to, like, teaching her stuff. And if you watched yesterday's video, you'll know with Madison, a lot of times I'll take these wilderness experiences and I'll relate them to, like, real life experiences. And, you know, with Kyla, it's not that I'm worried, it's just that sometimes she's really set on things being a certain way. Like I've mentioned before, she likes to know what the schedule is. And I find that, you know, if you're faced with a lot of these type of challenges and if you don't have the tools to help you through these challenges, and I'm talking about just life in general, that's where mental health issues come, where it's depression and sadness and loneliness. I think that's where that gets set in because you just don't have the tools. You were never taught the tools to deal with these type of challenges. My goal is with her, because I think this is something that she can work on. I mean, we all have something to work on, right? We all do. And she's my daughter, and I know her really well. And one of the things, and I sat down with her, and I said, one of the things that I'd like you to work on is work on changing your plan. You know, I said, a lot of times life is going to go down a certain road, and you think it's going to go straight. And then all of a sudden, you turn right. And I said, with her, I said, there's times that I've seen with you when you're going straight and you turn right and you can't handle that. You're pulling over the car, you're freaking out, you know, and I was like, you've got to be able to turn and adjust your life at a moment's notice. You just do. And some people are better at it than others. And I just want her to work on it just a little bit. And she's like, well, what are you saying, Mom? I don't understand, you know. She's 13 years old, you know, and she's like, I don't get it. I said, well, there's times where you might have something that's planned. And when I say, hey, we're not going to do that, we're actually going to do this now, you need to, like, think through this. That is okay. I am still safe. I am still happy with the other decision. It just, plans were changed. You know, like, we need to adjust to this. It's something that she needs to work on, and I'll be doing that a bit, I think, And again, the way that I teach my kids stuff is in the wilderness. And an example of that, I don't know if I'll do this or not, an example of that is I might tell Kyla, we're going to go down this one trail. And I'll give her a trail map to it. And then I'll change my mind and be like, no, actually, we're going to go down this trail. And see how she reacts to that, see how she can adjust to that. And look at the map and readjust where we're going, figuring out where we're camping, you know, stuff like that. And just see how she deals with that kind of a change. And that's just one example. I can do many. And I can do some, not just in the wilderness, some real life type stuff. But I told her, I said, I want to challenge you to be able to adjust to change. Because you're going to have a lot of changes in your life. And you're going to need to adjust to that. Are you going to rain or what? What are you going to do? Adjust to change, Tam. Adjust to the change of the weather. So I realized that I have developed these certain tools in my life from my experience in my life, and that my daughters are going to be able to have their own tools. They're going to create all of their own tools, and it might not be the same tools that I have, but all I know is what I've experienced. And if I can just teach them just a little bit, because that's our job as a parent, right, is to teach our kids, so when they go off into this real world that I think is crazy lately, when they go off into this real world, they are prepared and they got a set of tools. And maybe it's just the little basic little thing, little box of tools, you know, that I gave them. And then as they go through life, they'll add more tools to that, you know, and they might get a bigger box. And so that way they can deal with all of this chaos in the world without like losing their mind, you know what I mean? And just being able to adjust and be like, oh, that issue, I know how to deal with that. Hold on, let me open my tools. Okay, I got the right tool for that situation, you know? And of course I'm speaking in metaphors here, you know, but it works. That works for me, you know? And I'll say, and like when I was telling Madison when she was going for a job, she's like, Mom, I don't have any experience. I was like, hold on, let's open your toolbox, you know? Look what you have here. You know, you can deal with this and this and this. And she's like, oh. And I want to do the same thing with Kyla, but her toolbox is going to be different because she is so much different than Madison. So I need to like adjust my way of thinking because I've been focused so much on Madison. It is truly time for Kyla right now. And we need to start building her toolbox.
Saw the light go down Baker Street. Don't know exactly where he wants to meet. The last cigarette, broken phone. The rain's gonna be really soon. Don't know where to start or when to end. I'm afraid that I might fall again. I saw someone coming towards me. That someone's gonna set me free. There she was. There she was. There she was. There
So peaceful here. I would say Spirit Forest is my #1 tool. Just being able to come here and relax. And I can see right now the clouds are just building, you know, like you could just see them build. It's gonna dump some serious rain here soon. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. You know, it's been a pretty relaxing, kind of a chill morning and an afternoon a bit. I'm gonna head over to my friend's house that's having a hard time right now, and you know, and have dinner with him and stuff. So again, thank you for joining me, and I want to thank all my Patreons that have just been there through a lot of this. I just want to give a little special shout out to all of you. I do include your name at the end of the video, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate you. So thank you so much. Okay, see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.
And the truth may come as I